Hey everybody, Weem here. Welcome back to Under the Ocean, the reboot. So, what does the reboot mean? Well, essentially, I have had various worlds going on in the previous 11 episodes of Under the Ocean, and have started them over for different reasons. Sometimes I had bugs, sometimes I just wanted to try a different kind of part of the game. And but recently, in the last couple episodes, in my last world that I was in, I started having some major problems, some big bugs that were causing me difficulties, playing the game. So I've kind of set it aside. As you know, I've kind of continued with other episodes of Planet Explorers, and I've just recently gone into Knights of Pen and Paper. But Paul Greasley contacted me recently, and he's the developer of Under the Ocean, and said, hey, I've got some keys, do you want to give away some copies of the game? And I said, yes, please. But along with that, there's been some big updates to the game, and I've been hearing kind of little notes about this trickling in from different people saying, hey, you're going to keep going, there's been some updates. But when I've jumped back into my game, my world has still been a little bit messed up. So anyway, this time around I did go check, and there were a lot of things that seemed to be fixed. I lost a lot of what I had done was gone, so it was kind of like needing to start over, and I thought, well, if I'm going to start over, we're going to start over and try some new features, like the random world over here. You can see it's got the new indicator. Now, they have some really cool stuff with this random world, and I'm going to jump in there and show those to you, but I just wanted to quickly explain why this episode in particular is called the reboot. This is kind of the start over. We're on a new, we're Alpha 6 now, I believe, Update 2, and we've got some new features and everything, so this is a reboot. We're starting a new world, and also giving away some copies of the game, so stay tuned towards the end of the episode. I'm going to get into that, but I do want to jump in here and start a new world. We're going to explore our island, and there's a little bit more to that now, which is really cool, and kind of get accustomed to some things, and yeah, let's check it out. Okay, so welcome to the new island, and one of the first things you may notice is the background. We've got kind of these hills, there's some parallax going on, it looks really cool, and let's go ahead and pick some of this stuff up right here. We're going to go ahead and grab the gun, if I can grab the gun. Come on, there you go. And we'll just kind of stick that up there. Now, yeah, very cool. So one of the really cool things about the latest update was something I was checking out earlier, and it's this map feature. And you have a lot more island to explore, and the way this is done is pretty cool. So if I bring this up, I'm a little hard to see, but I am in the dead center of this, right near the water. And you can see these lines, these really faint gray lines. These lines are kind of your path. So if I move left and right, maybe you can see a little bit better the cone shape. They're indicating which way I'm facing. So I can actually kind of run along this path. Now, with this update, you'll actually run into splits in the path, and you can decide which way to go. And that's represented on this map in a top-down view with splits. So that's really cool. Now, I'm realizing that we're going to, if I head to the right, I'll kind of go through some ocean, and then I will hit land and back out to ocean. So the darker area on the map here is land. So we're actually going to go left here and head further inland. And we are going to want to chop some trees and get some tools together. I'll get to that in a second. We'll probably come back and pick some of this stuff up. Oh, there's a bird. That's cool. But we're just going to run over here a little bit and explore some things and see if we can't get to a split in the path so I can show you what that's all about. Let's bring the map up again. So there is some splits coming up here. Very cool. And let's see. Whoa, drop down. We're a little bit hungry. We're very cold actually right now. We could definitely use a fire. But I do want to show you this feature. So here we go. Actually, we have a path right here. Now, I was bringing the map up, I was clicking this, and you can see I'm dead center and I'm at a split in the path here. And if you don't have your map up and you walk across these things, you can see your map pops up. Your character faces towards you in this case because he can go down on the map. So this map is a top-down view. And so all I have to do is hit down on my keyboard, or up if I'm at a split in the path that heads kind of north to south. North off of the path that I'm on, I should say. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and take this. We want to go down in here. And that just popped us out here. So we can bring the map up again and see that we've got a left-right split. And we are moving away from that. That's where we came from. I am going to take this, though. This helps, right? Helps heal us. So yeah, this adds like a whole new dimension to the island. As you can see in the distance here, we've got kind of this kind of flattened out area. I guess is that rock? I don't think it's sand. So yeah, and there's areas where it's kind of dunes and you've got palm trees, or in the background it's all ocean, mountains. There's all kinds of different terrain and everything, and it really gives you a good sense of exploration that you really are in a different area of the island. So we're gonna go ahead and start collecting things, right? We need to get this thing going. Now, one of the other cool features, I'm going to close the map here. One of the other cool features here is that you can mouse over these items and get some details. So you can actually see the damage that some of these will do, including the smaller sticks here. See a 0 to 2, but they can be used for things. So we're going to go ahead and pick this up as well. So not all driftwood sticks are alike. They've got different damage values and everything. So we're going to get into crafting some stuff here shortly. I'd like to get a spear together, but we do need to find a rock for that. Now, I wonder if I passed, and it's a smaller rock, so I know I passed some bigger ones. Let's see. We're gonna, oops, spacebar is not the map. Let's actually head this direction. Now, often when I ran around exploring before, the smaller rocks that I'm looking for I found underwater, so it might be better to be heading in that direction. I could head over here and then north a bit, and that could take us to some water. So here you can see some really cool kind of the parallax effect going on. We have this rocky outcropping and a path, and so when we stand in front of it, the map comes up and we can see that we can head north. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Bring up the map again and we can head, let's see, this heads us north. So it's an interesting thing to get used to, essentially, that you're running left to right, but you can be running north to south on your island. Let's see, where are we here? Okay, so now I want to go left because I want to hit ocean, and I think there's going to be some nearby, even if it's just a little bit. It may have some rocks in it, underwater, perhaps. Let's see, or it won't go underwater at all. Nope, it didn't, so we're going to head back the other direction. These rocks don't really get us what we want, and I'll kind of show you more of that in a minute. Some of the crafting has changed, and it's for the better. Definitely excited about that. Hop over here. Looking for small rocks. Small rocks, come on. Sticks falling out of the sky, no. You got the chicken, we'll be back for you. Need some food. Now, one of the things that has not been working for a while is actually gathering food, for example, a crab, once you kill it, and then splitting it out into its separate components. But that has been resolved. You can now break up these things. I had issues with it anyway. I know some other people were okay with it, but my game was not allowing me to do that. Now, let's see. We do have a coconut. We're going to grab that. I'm trying to think if we're going to be able to do this, how we're going to get up here. I need something to stick in the ground, and I don't think the driftwood is going to count for me to stand on. I don't think. It's not going to prevent me, right, from... Yeah. Okay, interesting. We may need to come back to that. I'm terrible on ropes here. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can... Nope. Come on. Let's see. There we go. Ha-ha! Okay, so if I grabbed... let me think about this a second. I could grab this big rock. Maybe I could stand on it, right? Let's try that. Hop through here. The rope used to give me problems. It was kind of bugged. That's no good. Let's see. Now we're going to do a little bit of cheating here and kind of, let's see. We're going to jump and pause. Where's that rock at? Oh, get down here. And maybe do something like this. I thought I could stand on that. Ah, there we go. Haha. Our journey continues now. Oh, that was grass. Cool. Okay, so we have some bigger rocks. We need some smaller ones. Now, it could be, and because I haven't really got into this yet, that we could break some of these up if we had the right tools. Look at this guy, just hiding in there. but I don't have tools yet, and the tools that I want to make require some of the smaller stones. So I think that I'm not going to be able to do much with these until I get those smaller stones. I could be totally wrong. Could be wrong. But we're still getting back into the game here and figuring things out. And a lot's changed, so we have to learn. We have to learn for ourselves. So here's the rocks I'm looking for. Exactly what I want. And in fact, I'm going to grab like a lot of these. I don't need to move my map. And let's make sure that we can breathe. I guess that's okay. Okay, so we just need, we don't need a whole lot of these, but I kind of want some for the future, right? We've got plenty to do. And while we've got these here, we should grab them all. Or a good portion of them. And in fact, I don't need to be putting them in here, but I will get to that in just a second. Oh, silly map. Well, that's kind of cool. I didn't know you could just kind of move it where you want. It might stay that way. Okay, let's get out of the water. So, one of the things that's changed with crafting is you've got this tool belt now. So, you can actually open the tool belt and work within it, but it's kind of more than that. Let's go ahead and move some rocks in here. And as you can see, I move the rocks in, and an option comes up, a crudely sharpened rock. So, where before you would kind of move these elements out, and then bring your hammer to them, and hit craft, you'd have to kind of say, well, if I put 3 of these together, I know I can make this. In this case, you can actually grab these and put them in this area, and you can see when I grab a stick, if I could grab a stick, let's go. Sometimes I find I have to select below them a bit, so I miss them. See, now that I have the stick in there, it's showing me that I can make this. And if I move my mouse between the two, you can see within the tool belt the different elements highlighted that are going to be used. And I could just click one of these and make it. So we'll go ahead and make a stick here. So now it's got a sharpened point to it. And we can make this sharpened rock just by clicking it. So it's changed one of these. Let's grab another stick here if I can. Now you can see that I can make a crude axe because I've got the sharpened rock in, I've got the stick here. So there it is, and we're going to go ahead and bring this up here. We'll go ahead and click on the tool belt to get rid of it, select the axe, and we are now holding an axe. So we can chop trees. Okay, so much like before, you can kind of run up and begin chopping trees down, and these will bust down into pieces. And those pieces you can pick up and put into your inventory. And I've already done some of this and gathered some things. I'm going to bust this up here. But we've got some things up in my space up here. I had some of the log pieces up there, but I did move them into the tool belt. So you can see I've got this kind of the space occupied in here. Now, once you've got enough of these things going, you put some pieces in here. There, you can see the different items you can make as we saw before. But additionally, you can jump down here into the journal, and there's a tabs in the bottom. The first one being your journal, the second one being your crafting, your book here of recipes, I guess is what the word is I'm looking for. So you've got your recipes here, and it's showing that I've created a couple of these already. So you can kind of flip through the pages here. You can see I haven't made a sharpened bone yet, but I have made a sharpened rock. You have the axe and the pick. I have made both of those. The knife, and you can see here a workbench. So you can flip through these, and you can see in the top left we got a workbench icon. That means that these require the workbench. But yeah, otherwise you can kind of go through here, go through the recipes as you could before. I do like this look better. Before the menu kind of moved in from the left. Having it in the book like this is really cool. The icon indicating the workbench, that's very helpful. And yeah, lots to do in here. So we're going to go ahead and close out of this now. I did try making a workbench, and I'm having some issues. I've got all the pieces I need. It basically requires 4 of these pieces of wood and 2 long sticks. Although, you know what I'm realizing is, is it possible? It is always possible I screwed that up, and that isn't really a long stick. It's a sharpened. I mean, it doesn't say it's sharpened, but it's got the point on it, and I'm wondering if that's what's going on here. Let's get you down here if I can. Ah, look at that. We had a sharpened one in there. Okay, so that totally makes sense. I just kind of quickly threw those in there and thought, it's not popping up. But sure enough, there we go. So we can now go ahead and click the workbench. Ta-da! We have the workbench. So we'll definitely need a place to be putting this down. At least I imagine that's what happens. Right now, I don't know. This is the first time I've made the workbench, so I don't know if that's something you end up leaving in here. Let's go ahead and try and drag this out. Well, look at that. Aha! And you click the workbench and you work within this area. Very cool. So again, a lot of this is new to me as well, so while I can explain some of it we're still discovering. So there you go, and I would imagine we can move these over here, and we can probably move the workbench. Yes. It looks like it'll make the same things as well. It's just that there's some items that require the workbench, so you'll need to craft them in that area. Now, I must admit that a while back I was reading the roadmap towards these future updates, and there was talk of having these blueprinted windows, areas that you could craft within, and I thought, you know, I just don't think I like that, having this kind of small defined area when before you had the whole screen to craft and move things around. But I must say, I really do like this. I like putting the things in here. It's showing you what you can craft and you just clicking on it. It's, as far as UI goes, it's just much, much better. Just put everything in a pile and then see what can be made. Very cool, very cool. Definitely give those guys a hand for that. I did not see the light, but I get it now. Okay, well, all this messing around and showing you guys things has made me very hungry, very thirsty, and I'm not going to last long if I keep this up. So we're going to go ahead and right-click this guy, and then I can just bring this close to myself and use it. So go ahead and do that. So, feeling much better now. We're certainly still hungry. There are coconuts around. One of the things I noticed is that there are a lot of coconuts. I'm going to go ahead and grab this worm. He fell out of my... Oh, he thought he fell out, but maybe this is a new one. Oh yeah, that's right. If you move rocks, I found if you move rocks, you'll actually, the worms will be behind them, and it is easier to do that when you hit the space bar and you're kind of in the build mode. So you can move the rock. Aha! See, there we go. Demonstrated. Let's see if we can keep him. There we go. So anyway, you can find worms, and what I was getting at was that there were a lot of coconuts. When I ran around earlier, I kept running across them, kept picking them up, and that makes things, I don't want to say too easy, because I don't want the guys to hear that, you know, and think, oh man, too easy, huh? We'll show you. But it helps. It definitely helps with food. There's certainly more crabs I've found as well in the world, so when you kill them, that's a food source as well. I found in the earlier versions I had a hard time when it came to food, and some of that was because there were bugs about breaking the some of the, like the crabs apart, for example, to get to the meat. The same with the chicken. I couldn't break the chicken apart, but so that definitely played into it. But adding more resources like the coconuts, that definitely helps. Although it's funny, I'm saying that and we're just not seeing any here, but when I ran around earlier, there was times where I ran across, 5 or 6 of them at a time rolling around. So here's a chicken. Do we go after the chicken? Now we can go after him with the tools too. As you can see, it does have a damage on it. The crude pick is 2 to 5. What's the axe here? It is 5 to 8. We're actually going to select that, and yes, chicken, we're going for you. Get back here. I may have to try and trap him somewhere. Oh, that was easy. Well, there we go. It was a short-lived life. Now, in fact, I can actually show you that, come to think of it. Let's go ahead and bring this up. And at least I think I did that. Oh, actually, I don't think I had to do that in here. I think I just did that out here. Let's see, I think it's you hold shift. Yes. So I held shift and I dragged off, and you can see it's pulled the pelt off. And we'll go ahead and pull, let's see, shift again and drag. So shift again. I'm just holding shift while I select these parts of the body. It's a little grotesque, but hey, that's where we get our food from. So let's see, we've got legs. I don't know that these do anything for me. Guts, I mean, I don't know if these are edible. Let's see, because yeah, this one, it says meat and that we can use it. The other stuff doesn't say we can use it. So let's go ahead and keep the meat, and we'll keep the pelt because that could be used in something, I would imagine. But these other things, we're going to let them disgustingly collapse to the ground. Splat. And we'll go from there. Okay, after a bit of exploring, you can see I've run into this intersection. I've kind of moved inward a bit, and there's other intersections nearby, and I thought these are the kind of cool places, I think, to set up a hut. Somewhere near an intersection, so you've got some options. Like if you're doing your daily activity in your hut, you've got some options as to where you're wanting to go, or where you can go very quickly. So I think that's what we're going to do. Now, a number of you for a while now, I guess I probably get messages almost every day asking when more episodes of this series are coming. So I do want to take this opportunity to say they're coming soon. I took a break for a while because my world had some bugs in it. This is early access, right? We're playing an alpha version, so bugs are to be expected. Alpha is alpha, as I've mentioned before. But I had some problems that were causing some issues with my hut, and so I just kind of set the game aside for a bit and thought, I'm going to let some updates come up. And that delay has caused a lot of people worry, apparently, because they thought I wasn't going to be doing any more of these episodes. But we are back now. There's obviously been some updates. I've been showing you a number of them over the course of this video, and I'm very excited about them. So we're going to get a fresh new start. As you can see, we're kind of gathering wood here, and there will be another episode. There's going to be an episode 13, and we're going to start to look at establishing our hut, get a new hut going, and see if we can return it to its former glory. We'll see, or former failure. I definitely have messed some huts up myself in the past, but either way, we're going to give it a whirl. So what I want to do right now is take this opportunity to kind of fill you in on how to get copies of this game. Now, I mentioned in the past that Paul, the developer of the game, actually got a hold of me on Twitter and offered me some key codes. So I need to get those out to you. So this is how this is going to work. I've done this through Steam before, and it worked very well, so we're going to do that again. Step one is actually going to be just to jump over to the Weemcast Steam Group and go ahead and join the group there. I have some announcements, and you'll see one there that says watch this video to win a copy of UTO, or something along those lines. Anyway, if you go ahead and click that, just leave a comment there saying, hey Weem, I want a copy of this game, and your duties are done. You are entered at that point to win a copy. And I'm going to probably give away excuse me, I'm probably going to give away like 2 copies of this, and probably 2 more in a follow-up video that may come next weekend. We'll have to see, but episode 13 will be the one to look out for, and we'll give another key code away or 2. So between this Saturday, let's see, we are June 22nd, and next Saturday I'll be giving away a few copies. So keep an eye on Steam. If you've gone ahead and left a comment wanting a copy, keep an eye on Steam to see if I've sent you a message, and along with a key code. And what I'll do is, once the copies have been given away, once I've given away 2 copies, I'm going to go ahead and update this video. I'll add a little note to the video itself, but I'll also drop a message into the description that says the winners have been selected. So if you see that, keep an eye out for that if you're watching this video. If you see that, it means we've already given the copies away. I've given some copies of game away before, Awesome Knots, and I've had people 6, 7, 8 months later say, I'd love a copy of this game, and I even had messages on the video and in the description that said it was gone. So please do look for that. You take this opportunity to look too, just to make sure that I haven't already given them away. But we'll have more, like I said, in the future, especially in episode 13. We'll give away another copy or 2, so keep an eye out for that. I do thank you guys for watching, for stopping in and watching this, and I sincerely hope that you check out the next episode, number 13, as we continue with this world. And I also want to once again thank Paul for the copies of the game. I appreciate that, as I'm sure you guys do as well. So yeah, that should just about do it. I will catch you guys next time.